Muslims do not buy, use, listen to, read, or look at the harmful things which Allah Ta'ala prohibits. They do not harm anybody. They do not respond to base behavior in kind. They are always patient. They give advice with a sweet tongue and a smiling face. Muslims try to learn, teach, and do the things which Allah Ta'ala commands. They search for knowledge even if it is possessed by disbelievers. It has always been so in the course of history. Those who could not think of mankind as a superior being have borne hostility against the Islamic religion, have tried to deceive youngsters, and, at a time they did not expect at all, they have themselves died, leaving their worldly pleasures which they had been clasping so tightly, and went to hell. The names of many of them have been forgotten, with no fame, no sign of them having remained behind them, whereas the Islamic sun has continued to spread its light all over the world. Disbelievers embrace the comfort and beauty of the world, which is sweet outwardly but bitter inwardly, sequined outside but poisonous inside, pleasing in the beginning but unworthy in the end. Muslims should embrace the commandments of the Quran, which is the way of our Prophet ﷺ, and should ceaselessly struggle to improve in this way. They should beware from bid'ats, which have appeared later in Islam and have been concocted by enemies of the Islam, by Islam's reformers, and by ignorant, stupid people. Our Prophet ﷺ says, "A person who respects practitioners of bid'at, i.e. those who do and teach as worship words, writings, ways, and deeds that did not exist in the time of our Prophet and his 4 Khalifas, but were made up and developed later in Islam, who praises them when they are alive or dead, and who deems them great, in fact, helps Islam to be demolished, to be eradicated from the world." Every Muslim should try to protect his iman, lest it should be seized. He should deem enemies of Allah Ta'ala and of His Prophet as enemies, and struggle to humiliate and disgrace them. Every Muslim should endeavor to maintain his iman and should not let it be stolen. He should not love disbelievers who do not believe Allah Ta'ala and His Prophet. But one should not treat harshly or cruelly those whom one does not like. Disbelievers and bid'at holders should be given good advice with a smiling face and with a sweet tongue. We should try to rescue them from the disaster, so that they may attain happiness. Hadrat Mazhar Jani Janan Qudsusra stated, "We are commanded not to love disbelievers, min bidat, and those sinners who commit sins floutingly. We should not speak with them, go to their homes and meetings, or salute them, or make friends with them. However, these prohibitions are suspended under inevitable conditions within a time of necessity. Although it is permissible to contact them under these conditions, it is a must not to love them in a heartfelt way." Jihad is done to save people who have been deceived and oppressed by ignorant parents, by priests who work for their worldly advantages, and by commanders who persecute people for their own pleasures, from disbelief and from the way of calamity, and to use force in order that they be honored with Islam. Jihad means to sacrifice one's life and property for the elimination of the wickedness of dictators and exploiters who intercept Islam's light from reaching those wretched people who were brought up under oppression and among atrocities and thrown into darkness. It means to resort to force in order to save them from the torment of hell and to make them attain the boundless blessings of paradise. Jihad is not done individually, but by the state. Attacking others individually is not called jihad. It is called barbarism or plunder. It is far for those who have not joined in a jihad to pray for the mujahids. It is owing to jihad that even disbelievers are rescued from the oppressions of the cruel people and honored with iman. We do not touch the religion, life, or property of those who, after hearing about the understanding Islam, still persist in disbelief and do not accept iman. They live freely and comfortably under the justice and mercy of Islam. Owing to jihad, no disbeliever will be able to say, "I didn't hear about it. I would have believed if I had heard." It is far for Muslims to work to become powerful enough to perform jihad. If they do not work and perform jihad, they will have done a great disservice to all people. It is written in the 5th chapter of the book Kimya-i Saadat, Rasulullah Hadrat Muhammad ﷺ stated, "The basis and the most dependable symptom of iman is to love Muslims and to dislike disbelievers." Allah Ta'ala declared to Hadrat Isa, Jesus ﷺ, "Even if you do acts of worship equal to the sum of worship performed by all creatures on the earth and in the heavens, It will be of no value unless you love whom I love and unless you feel hostility towards my enemies. Every Muslim should dislike the enemies of Allah Ta'ala. He should love those who obey Islam. He should make it evident in his words and, if possible, in his actions. He should not be friends with those who are disobedient and sinful, and should utterly keep away from habituated sinners. He should all the more avoid the cruel and those who persecute Muslims. Yet he should forgive those who only torment him, and should endure their torments. This is very useful. Some of our superiors used to treat sinners and cruel very severely, and others used to show them only mercy and respect, and used to advise them. That is, thinking that everything happened according to qada and qadar, they felt pity for sinners and the cruel. Their thought is great and valuable, but idiots or those who are ignorant cannot understand it, and they may get the wrong idea. Those whose beliefs are weak and who are neglectful in following the ahkam-i Islamiyah think that they are contented with Allah Ta'ala's qada and qadar. However, there must be evidence and proof for this state of contentment. If they beat a person, snatch away his property, and insult him, and he still doesn't become angry, forgives them, and pities them, it is understood that he is content with qada. But if he, while becoming angry at such times, pities those who disobey Allah Ta'ala and says that it is their qadar, fate, he is irresponsible and munafiq, and religiously ignorant. Thus, it is a symptom of not having strong iman for those who do not know qada and qadar to pity and love sinners and disbelievers. It is fard to dislike and to be hostile towards those who stand against Islam or who are hostile towards Muslims. As well, it is fard to feel hostility towards those who accept the jizya. Jizya is the tax which disbelievers under Muslim control pay to a Muslim government. Allah Ta'ala commands the jizya in the Quran al-Kareem in order to disgrace disbelief. Allah Ta'ala declares in the Quran in the last ayat of Surah Al-Mujadala, those who believe in Allah Ta'ala and the day of rising do not like the enemies of Allah Ta'ala, even if those disbelievers and munafiqs are the fathers, mothers, sons, brothers, and other close relatives of Muslims. They do not like them. I will put such believers into paradise. To appoint disbelievers as presidents over Muslims by trusting them is to disgrace Muslims, which is a grave sin. It is necessary to dislike holders of bidat, i.e. those who want to defile the Muslims' iman. A Muslim must feel hostility towards them, and he must not acknowledge their greetings. He must also inform other Muslims about them. It is necessary not to talk to or make close friendships with those who hurt Muslims with their behaviors, words, and writings by giving false witnesses or unjust judgments or by way of lies, slander, and derision, although they may have iman, practice acts of worship, and avoid sinning. In fact, such people must be treated severely. We should mildly advise the sinners who do not hurt Muslims, even though they commit harams, such as charging and paying interest, drinking alcoholic drinks, and gambling, believers as they themselves may be. However, if they do not come to reason, we should not greet them or talk to them, but when they are sick, we should visit them and acknowledge their greetings. Those disbelievers who do not attack Muslims with their words, articles, or brute force must be addressed with kind words and a smiling face. We should not harm anybody.